Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Bina Pansare. I'm an MD from KM Hospital and MBBS from JJ Group of Hospitals and a practicing pediatrician for the past 22 years. I'm going to speak on a guide to parenting. Parenting is the process of promoting and supporting the physical, emotional, social and intellectual development of a child from infancy to adulthood. Parenting is also defined as the attitude of parents towards child rearing, consisting of three features: involvement, autonomy, and warmth. Major responsibilities for parents: maintaining children's health and safety, promoting their emotional well being, instilling social values, preparing children intellectually. 4 C's for parents: care, showing acceptance and affection; consistency, maintaining a stable environment; choices, allowing the child to develop autonomy; consequences, applying repercussions of choices whether positive or negative. Parenting styles. A parenting style is indicative of overall emotional climate in the home. Marriage is only template for our children to emulate. We have to be their role models. A higher principle in any marriage is children. There are 4 parenting styles which involve combination of warmth, acceptance, responsiveness and on the other hand demand and control. In particular, authoritative style is positively related to mental health and satisfaction with life, and authoritarian style is negatively related to these variables. Authoritative parenting is a high control, high warmth, just the right style, combines medium level demands on child and medium level responsiveness from parents. Parents rely on positive reinforcement, infrequent use of punishment, nurturing, affectionate parents, discipline through guidance. Parents are more aware of child's feelings and support the development of child autonomy within reasonable limits. There is a give and take atmosphere involved in an open parent child communication, and both control and support are balanced. Authoritarian parenting: high control, low warmth, very rigid and strict, high demands on the child, but there is little responsiveness to them. Parents who practice this style have a non negotiable set of rules and expectations that are strictly enforced and require rigid obedience. When rules are not followed, punishment is often used to promote further obedience. I said so is a typical response to a child's question of authority. In 1983, Diana Bamrind found that children raised in this style were less cheerful, more moody, and more vulnerable to stress. Permissible parenting: high warmth, low control, more popular in middle class families. Child's freedom and autonomy are highly valued. Fewer or inconsistent boundaries. Parents are undemanding and little, if any, punishment or rules. Parents take a role of a friend rather than a parent. Children are generally happy but show low levels of self control and self reliance because of lack of structure at home. Children can become directionless. Uninvolved parent: low warmth, low control. Parents are emotionally and physically absent. No expectation on the child. No communication, no interactions. Parents are self absorbed. There are inconsistent or no boundaries, and children tend to be victimized by other children. May exhibit deviant behavior. Health: good nutrition, plenty of exercise are building blocks for strong growth and healthy development of the child. Parents are role models for their children, imitate their parents. A newborn baby has only 3 demands. They are warmth in the arms of his mother, food from the breast, and security in the knowledge of her presence. Breastfeeding satisfies all 3. The best tailor-made nutrition for newborn is breast milk. Later, as children grow, Family meal times may provide the setting to strengthen emotional connections and establish positive nutrition. Parents control the type of food children have access to in home and can maximize access to healthy, wholesome food. Parents can significantly influence likes and dislikes of children, which can last a lifetime. Safe environment. Following can be used as a guide to provision of toys. First 3 months, bright objects to look at. Between 3 to 6 months, toys that make sound or noise. Between 7 to 12 months, toys to elicit noise by squeezing or drumming. Toys that can be pulled apart and joined. Between 12 to 15 months, children enjoy stacking. Hence, toys to build small towers, building blocks are a good option. Imaginary play set in, and this is the right time to introduce to kitchen and doctor sets. Between 15 to 24 months, children enjoy attaching and detaching simple blocks, puzzles, wooden animals, etc. It is essential that we are near the children when our children are playing with toys. Safety. Safety is a continuing journey and not a final destination. Protection of children from sexual abuse is possible only if the children are appraised of what to do in event of such difficult situations. Children should be taught to say no if someone tries to touch them in ways that makes them feel frightened, uncomfortable or confused. We have to teach them to differentiate between good touch and bad touch. Internet safety. When children go online, they are not really in your house anymore. They are out there. Parents need to learn about computers. They need to limit the use of media, computers, mobile phones, televisions to less than 2 hours a day. The computer should be set up in a public area of the house where parents can monitor activities. Children should be instructed not to provide personal information, including pictures, addresses, or telephone numbers, to strangers on the internet. Time with children. Your children need your presence more than your presence. Many parents try to compensate their absence by providing gifts. Some parents engage children in many activities by taking them from one place to another. They say, I do not have time to spend personally with the child, so I see to it that child does not have time free at hand to feel my absence. Sometimes we are so concerned about giving our children what we never had growing up, we neglect to give them what we did have growing up. Communication. The most basis of all human needs is the need to understand and be understood. The best way to understand people is to listen to them. Emphatic listening is very healing, as when a child recalls the disappointments faced in the class during the routine day. The communication of the feeling that I understand you, my dear, gives immense sense of well-being to the children when they are in need of a person to rant and complain. In communicating with children, 3 things are important: listen, respond, and remember. Listen. When your children are talking about concerns, stop what you are doing and listen. Express interest in what they are saying without being intrusive. Listen to their point of view. Let them complete their point before you respond. Repeat what you heard them say to ensure that you understand correctly. Respond. Soften strong reactions or the kid will tune out. Express your opinion without putting down theirs. Acknowledge that it is okay to disagree. Resist arguing about who's right. Instead say, I know you disagree with me, but this is what I think. Focus on your child's feeling than your own during your conversation. Remember, kids learn by imitating, and they will follow your lead in how you deal with anger, solve problems, and work with difficult feelings. Talk to your children. Don't lecture, criticize, threaten, or say hurtful things. Kids learn from their own choices, and as long as consequences are not dangerous, don't feel you have to step in. Realize your children may test you by telling you a small portion of what is bothering them. Listen carefully to what they say. Encourage them to talk. They might share rest of the story. Listening and talking is the key to healthy connection between you and your children. A word about nonverbal communication. Your kind smile or pat on the back might just pull someone back from the edge. A kind smile is healing and helps our children understand that they are worthy of the journey in this world. If a child has failed an exam or failed to win a race, just put your arms around her and say, I know that you are disappointed. Let's look for reasons of failure. Together, we shall attempt to strengthen your weakness. Will work wonders for the child's self-esteem. Hugs, kisses, pats and caresses are some of the non-verbal ways in which we can communicate positive emotions with our children. Adolescence is described by some as a period of storm and stress, of conflicts, identity crisis, moody behavior. In fact, it is the most wonderful period when verbal communication is at its peak. Abstract thinking, independent thinking, problem solving, decision-making capacities are developing. If a parent discusses issues with the adolescent in a non-judgmental manner, explaining rules and limits in an assertive manner, adolescent parenting becomes a cakewalk and parent-child bond further strengthens. Teenagers who feel connected to and yet not constrained by their families tend to flourish. Apologizing doesn't mean that you are wrong and the other one is right. It simply means that you value the relationship more than your ego. When we understand that we have upset our children with our words, there is no harm in seeking apology. This shows our strength and also implies to our children that we value our relationship with them. We also stand as good role models in making them see the advantages of seeking apology. Love for children. The greatest gift a parent can give a child is unconditional love. We can only learn to love by loving. Children should be loved unconditionally, without any expectations and without reason. Love should be shown in all interaction at all times. Consistency in expression of love ensures better parent-child bond and helps in development of self-confident, self-reliant child. Trusting your child is the basis of love. Today's children are bright and have access to a lot of information. Teach them the right thing and trust them. Always doubting reduces the confidence level of our children. Discipline. Discipline your son or daughter in their early years where there is still hope. If you don't, you will ruin their life. A behavior rewarded is a behavior repeated, irrespective of the nature of the reward. And reward cannot always be things. It could be a smile, a pat on the back, a kind word. Even that is enough. Discipline definitely helps children to achieve greater heights, but how it is executed makes a difference. No discipline is bad. Excess discipline with constant instructions on the lines of don't do this and don't do that annoys children and makes them rebellious or withdrawn. Scholastic skills. Every child born is a potential genius. First of all, let us internalize the concept that every child is born with inherent talents. How we allow the talents to come to surface should be the objective of parents when formal training is sought. Sleep. It is essential that bedrooms of children are not busy. There should be no computer, PlayStation, television or telephone in the bedrooms of children and adolescents, as all of them are known to steal their sleeping time. Sleep deprivation is a source of stress in adolescents and brings down their academic performance along with a fall in immunity. Relationships during childhood and adolescence. There are many relationships that are formed during childhood and adolescence. Every relationship contributes towards the personality of the child. The quality of relationships during childhood determines the future relationships in the life of an individual. A high quality parent child relationship is critical for healthy development of a child. Siblings. Siblings can be very close to each other if they want and can be very far from each other if they choose so. Siblings are a pleasure to have, but sibling rivalry has been a source of concern for many parents. If the older child is adequately prepared to accept the arrival of the sibling, the chances of rivalry reduces. Allowing the older child to handle the younger one from day one increases the bonding between children. When parent takes sides, the sibling rivalry increases. Quarrels between siblings help in bonding. Parental interference brings about a long-term rift. Parental silence strengthens the relationship. Enjoy the quarrels of childhood, for they don't last long. Substance use and abuse. Drugs and alcohol can be so destructive. Drugs and alcohol can destroy the nervous system, the liver, the GI system, and cause irreversible changes. This affects the health of the person and social life and academics. Parents are role models. I'm serious about no alcohol, no drugs. Life is too beautiful. Jim Carrey. Without drugs, the children and adolescents have a better life as they can enjoy good friends, clear mind, normal activities that lead to natural highs and great memories. Rehabilitating a person from drug abuse is difficult. Prevention with information and good parenting practices keeps our children stay away from substances to a large extent. Parents as drug and intoxication free role models make a lasting effort on children in staying away from drugs and intoxication. Just a minute for spirituality in parenting. Friends, we all know that for a child to grow up as a successful individual, only IQ isn't enough. EQ and SQ are important. To develop EQ and SQ, values are important. And spirituality is a strong foundation for imparting values to our children. These are universal values common to all faiths. The power of stories can never be underestimated in giving values to our children. We have a treasure house of stories in our culture, from our epics, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Puranas, which speak of values in story form. Love is the essence of Vedic scriptures, and love is the essence of life in our great country. Hence, teaching children to love God as you or your family knows Him or her helps develop faith and mental stability. The knowledge of the fact that the Lord is a witness to all our actions keeps them away from harmful or wrong actions. The knowledge of karma, good in, good out, bad in, bad out, helps them to choose good activities over bad activities when faced with challenges in life. Thank you.